everybody. So I thought I would share my wedding journal that I've just finished making for my daughter who's getting married in summer 2021. I've been working on this for about 6 months. It's just taken me forever because I don't really get a lot of time to journal, but I really wanted to give her a lovely keepsake, something that she could write down ideas, stick pictures in, all sorts of things as a record of planning for the day. So I bought from eBay a wedding etiquette book from the 1950s. I think it cost me about £6 or £7. And the plan originally was to use the white cover. In fact, I have left a small section of that, but when I made it up with that, I felt it looked a bit dull. I'm just going to adjust the camera. And wanted to do more of a decoupage effect, so that's what I ended up doing, sticking lots of scraps of paper and pictures and stamping and napkins, and used some washi tape on the edges, and finished it off with a couple of coats of matte varnish. And then I've got 3 signatures in. Not perfect, one of them's a little bit out of line, but that's fine. Mostly using tea and coffee stain paper, and I also only yesterday made some charms which I really enjoyed making. Never made them before, absolutely love them. I shall be on the lookout for old necklaces now to make lots more of these, and they've got, I don't know if you can see them, but different little charms on the bottom that I think just finish it off nicely. So I'll flick through the book. I stuck some ribbon into the book to tie it up, which I've glued under the outer cover, and I used the dust cover from the original book on the inside pages, front and back, and I think that sort of sets a bit of the colour scheme for the day, really. And then I just put various sections in the book. So this was a photograph from their engagement when her fiance proposed to her. They were at a festival. It was a bit out of the blue and she was absolutely overwhelmed, and it was just an emotional moment. And then I've stuck various bits from the vintage book inside. So, you know, behaviour together during the engagement. It's very old-fashioned, but it's quite entertaining. Who pays for what at a glance, and then I put an old pound note and an old 10-shilling note just to add a bit of detail there. I used the spine of the book to make a little bookmark, stuck a ruler paper on the other side, so I tried to use as much of it as I could. I stamped with this text all the way through on most pages because it really finishes them off nicely. I also made lots of paper ruffles which I've included on different pages throughout the book. Pictures from an old magazine. This was a piece of my own artwork that I'd done one time that I've incorporated into it. A nice some words by Bob Marley about relationships and love, and that was very appropriate. And I also used a napkin that has some very pretty dainty flowers, and I put little snippets of that all through to sort of tie the book in, really. I left lots of blank pages for my daughter to write, you know, and make her own mark on it. I had a section for the wedding dress. This was a piece of old lace I had. I also included some fabric from my own wedding dress, which I would say has been quite battered over the years because it's been used as a dressing up dress. And a picture of a wedding dress, and then cut out some wings with a Tim Holtz die. Made some little journaling cards here. Made a little I used an envelope for something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a lucky sixpence for your shoe. So there's a sixpence in there, which she might wear on the day. Included a photo of myself and my husband on our wedding day in 1984, and so she says she's going to recreate that pose. She shall see. And then I put a little letter in here for her to read, which was, you know, memories of my own wedding day. And then, say, lots of blank pages, and tea stained, coffee stained pages, more ruffles, washi tape to put some detail on the pages. Made these little tags, I'll put a few of those through the book. Made some pockets, used some of these old Lovies pictures and incorporated that into it. The venue, I know she wants a teepee type wedding, so I've printed off a photo online and created a bit of a page for that so she can write down some ideas. Quote from the Bible about love, which I just thought was lovely words. A little cluster, I made quite a few of these, so they're great to decorate pages. She's a very bright, colourful girl, my daughter, so had to include the rainbow in there somewhere. Again, the napkin, flowers, more text, more washi tape, little section on flowers and some pictures to inspire her, things to do list. Printed off these, I think, from Artie Mays, who's online, and there's some lovely printables so they can really lift a page. Another note, small little decorations. Little pocket that she can tuck things into. Thought she might put a bit of a timeline on there of the proceedings for the day, and then a section for her honeymoon. Used a map to page to make a little pocket. Included a little painting that I did when we went to Bali earlier in the year, which was wonderful. Food notes, so she can write down ideas for food, put pictures. An old cookery book with a wedding cake, and then I printed off these, "You are the icing on my cake," and included the recipe from the book, tucked it in there. I think she's probably having a sweet table, so we thought we'd have that as well. Might inspire her again. Another little pocket, more washi tape, music, entertainment. She can write down ideas, a playlist possibly, contact details of anybody she's going to be using. That was a card that somebody sent me and I thought that's very appropriate. More notes. I found at a car boot sale some vintage wedding cards, so I did cut this one up and use details there. I just thought it was so pretty, but also included a couple that are complete, just because it's so delicate. That's from Auntie Rose to Kathleen, and I just thought that was a nice thing to include. And another one there. And I also found a wedding telegram at a car boot sale, so I created a page out of that and included a page from the book about wedding anniversaries and how they're celebrated. And that takes us to the last page, and I've put around the back page the garter from my own wedding, which I'd put a picture of in earlier with a little tag saying something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and that will cover at least a couple of those. So I'm hoping that she might actually wear that on the day. That would be lovely. But I'm really pleased with it because I don't often actually finish journals, so you know, it's come out. I could just keep working on it actually, but I need to be giving it to her now so she can actually start using it. So I think it's as complete as it's going to be. So hopefully this might give some people ideas if you're planning to do your own wedding journal. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.